Hey everyone, the Motivational Professor. Now let's jump right into the analysis. But before we do that, let me bring up the Forex Factory schedule. Okay, and I want to go ahead and go full screen real quick so you can see that right here at 10:30 a.m. Okay, we do have crude oil inventories that we have to account for. So understand that right before 10:30, if you have any open positions, then you want to go ahead and make sure that you are looking at your trade unless you've got a stop loss ready to go, because it will probably move right at 10:30 a.m. this morning, Eastern Standard Time. Now let's go ahead and jump right into the analysis, because I've already marked up a couple of zones that I definitely want you to pay attention to. So this psychological number of 90 is going to kind of be the area that we are looking at. That if we do get, price to come up into this area again, then we're going to be looking to make a decision in that area. We're going to be covering that in this shorter than usual video because I want to get you that information, but I also want to mark up these zones as well. So as we begin to mark up the zones, what I want you to do is to pause the video if you need to, and then copy these zones, because at the end of today's video, I'm going to be giving you some entries as well. So again, make sure that you are paying attention. So let's go back to full screen mode here. And the first thing I want to do is we've identified this area right in here. Now, what we want to do is that we want to make sure that we are looking at our opportunities to be able to find good entries. So for right now, I want to make sure that we are looking at a couple of different scenarios. First of all, let's mark up, which is our next area right in here. I like this 87.60-ish area to trap price right in here. Okay, so I'm going to kind of move this up here a little bit, and I'm going to mark that right there. Okay, so we're going to kind of work within these parameters right now. Okay, if we come down further, okay, and I'm going to kind of look over here to the left. If we come down further, we can see that this is probably going to be a pretty good area right in here. So I'm going to mark that because, again, if we continue to drop, these are going to be the areas that we are going to focus on. And then I'm going to go ahead and mark up one more right in here. Let's mark up this area right in here. So again, to the top side, if we do break, then we are going to go ahead, whether that's fortunately or unfortunately, we're going to see probably 92, okay, if we do break to the top side. So let's kind of work in here and see what we have going on. Now, I do want to add the 50-day moving average, because that's going to make a decision for us kind of in what we do for today. Okay, so what I want to do now is I want to begin to break down the different zones. So I'm going to be giving you the zones to look at, and then you decide if you're going to be a buyer or if you're going to be a seller in these areas. I highly recommend that, because we do have crude oil inventories at 10:30, that you trade today with half or even a quarter of the lot size that you would normally trade with, because I'll probably give you a bigger stop loss here in just a few minutes. But if you're under leveraging, you'll be able to hold that trade longer. Okay, so again, decide how you want to do it, whether you want to try to swing trade this or you want to scalp it. Definitely, I would be very cautious with that crude oil inventories report today. So let's kind of go back to our full screen here. And so as we begin to kind of look at this right in here, these are kind of the areas that we want to play off. Okay, so again, depending on what is going to happen with crude oil, we can first take a look at a short position. I would say to look at a short position, something up here in this particular category. Okay, taking it all the way back down to the 50-day moving average. Okay, so understand that this first position is a more of a swing position, or you can scalp it. But because there is a greater area of stop loss, this is why I think it's so important for you to use a smaller lot size. So even if you do go into the red, then you might say, well, maybe I want to take another position here and then work it down zone to zone. In my opinion, oil at some point is going to collapse back down into the 50-day moving average, which is sitting at about 83.85. That may sound crazy to you, but I believe that we do need to come back down towards a 50-day moving average fairly shortly here. Okay, I'm not going to say it's happened today, but I think it needs to happen because there's a lot of liquidity sitting down here in these areas. Okay, so as we kind of go back to full screen mode, let me get rid of this. So this is kind of the one scenario that we are looking at, okay, as we move forward. If you want to take let's grab a short position here. Okay, if you want to take another position based upon candles, then this would be another position here, right? If price does come down here, again, every of these little lines, these blue lines, indicate areas where you should be looking for profit. So in this scenario, we would need price to come down to then come back up towards this area, okay, and then back down here again. That's if you are trading this scenario, okay? And I'm actually going to label this. Let's grab a text box, and I'm going to mark this here as number one in case that does happen. I'm going to just mark it number one so you can kind of see that this is one scenario. I'm going to go ahead and mark this one here as a number two. And again, you can pick and choose depending on what's happening here. And price action, again, what the candles are doing will tell you the story, okay? We would need to see a candle close in this area down here, okay, for scenario number two to happen. So for the scenario number two to happen, we need to see a candle close here, come back up, and then come back down to this area for scenario number two. Okay, same thing for scenario number one. At this point, we're just going to go if price comes back into this area to take it down. Again, in my opinion, and I'm going to be writing this down here in just a minute, in my opinion, you should be cashing out, especially on a crude oil inventory day, 20 to 30 points. Okay, however those points acclimate with you, whether you're on the futures account, then that's ticks. Whether you're here on TradingView, that's points, or you call it cents. Every 20 to 30 cents in your direction, you should begin to secure profit or move stop loss into profit, however you manage your trade. I like to take 20 and close, 20 and close. Do that a few times a day, and it's a very nice trading day. Okay, so again, I'm going to leave that management piece up to you. And again, if you want some more direction and you want some more guidance on this, if you look down below to the scrolling area, feel free to join our members area. It is still only $5 a month. That is going to be going away here pretty soon. So if you want to join our private chat, get updates from me. We just crushed an EJ trade on the Forex side. We just crushed 60 pips on gold over the last couple of days with multiple entries. If you need that mentorship, if you need that guidance, if you're willing to sacrifice $5 a month for that mentorship, go down to the link in the video description, and I'd love to see you in our private chat area. Okay, so those are the kind of the two scenarios that we have in play right now. Now, if you're looking for a buying opportunity, I would not buy here, right? Do not buy in this area. And I was trying to grab a marker. So do not buy in that area. Price has already taken off. Look how far we are away from the 50-day moving average. So if you're going to buy, okay, then this is going to kind of be your scenario here. Let me get rid of this orange line. And as you can see, we are beginning to approach our first entry spot up in this area. If you're going to buy, then your best scenario would be to take a long position down here at the 50-day moving average. I'm going to kind of move that over here, okay? Below the 50-day down in here, below this wick, okay, taking it all the way back up here, okay? That would be kind of a buying opportunity here right at or near the 50 off the zone, okay? I would definitely play it here as the longer play, okay? And then again, if you want a secondary play, and let's go ahead and mark this up as number 3, right in here, okay? If you want a fourth play, then we're looking at this zone right in here, a little bit riskier, okay? As a shorter play would be right in here, okay? And then again, that play is going to be called number 4. And we'll mark that up here. And this is kind of what we're doing inside of our area. Again, we're giving ourselves the best possibilities to find entries. So here, either way, especially if you have a broker that allows you to have buys and sells or hedge, this is a great opportunity possibly to do that depending on where you are at, right? Unless something crazy happens today, we should not be going higher than 92 on crude oil, even on the TradingView price. And again, this is based on TradingView. Always check your broker for price. But for the most part, on most brokers, like it is on mine, which has the lowest spreads, by the way, and I'll leave a link for my broker down in the video description as well for our group rate. You can also get lower spreads, as we talked about, and lower fees. So I'll leave that for you as well. Always check your price. But again, the price action is usually the same regardless of your broker. Okay, so as we kind of begin to wrap up, this is what we're looking at for today with crude oil. You should be able to see this video right before the equities open at 9:30 a.m. But again, keep in mind, okay, that we do have this crude oil inventories report at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and that is going to impact price. Okay, so I've given you a couple of scenarios. I definitely want you to under leverage today, especially because it's a news day with crude oil inventories. Okay, thank you so much for watching. If you got some value from this video, definitely hit the like button for me. As you know, in YouTube, that definitely helps us out with more people watching this video. If you're brand new, subscribe. We do this inside of our members chat often. We also do live training that we're just going to teach you some different tactics depending on what you're trading. It doesn't need to be just crude oil. It could be anything else as well. Have a great day today. Happy trading. And leave a comment below, and I'll get back to you within 24 hours. Thanks for watching.